welcome back to Akira Kizzau, an Aspects of Mourn novel, issue number 3, Llama Drama. Approaching the Llama army was intimidating, even for Kizzau and her wife, who had known Gertrude for some time. At first glance, Kizzau had assumed that only a few Llama had joined Gertrude, but as they got closer, it became apparent that it was an army. None seemed anxious or ready for a fight, but none were showing any sign of dispersing out of the street they now occupied. "Gertie," Kizzau said, approaching the tan Llama. A mop of dark brown hair atop her head made it easy to pick her out from the others that had appeared. "I know you are not fond of talking. Is there a reason her friends have come to join you?" The Llama looked down at her with big brown eyes that seemed full of worry. She lifted her head to look over at one of the Llamas the police had not escorted from the scene. One of the humans police had not escorted from the scene. The man tried to flee, but one of the officers was quick to trip him up. "She's going to kill me," the man screamed, curling up into a ball on the ground. "Who told you that?" asked Salia, motioning the officer away. "I'm more of the type to be aggressive to get information. I have only ever known Gertie to attack those that have wronged her, and she has the most impressive 0 kill count I have ever seen. Now headaches and loogie cleanups are another story." Gertrude was standing above the curled-up human. She made a loud bleat at the cowering figure before pelting him with an impressive glob of spit. "This stuff is poison. Get it off. She's a killer. The totems kill hunters." "His fear is genuine," Ariane said, holding her hands out to one of the assembled Llama. The animal knelt forward and nuzzled her offered hand. "I would surmise that humanity's last stand has been given some bad information, or their leaders are looking for a new method to return the methods that the humans had pruned from Earth. The samurai that trained me once explained how people on Earth hunted for sport." "Why am I not burning?" the human said, sitting up confused. "This is gross, but I feel fine. Is this some sort of trick?" Salia rolled her eyes as she watched Gertrude return to the front of the army of Llama. When she was close to Kizzau, the Llama nudged her before taking the final steps to the front of the herd. "Is there something you'd like from us, Gertie?" Lifting her head high, Gertrude, totem of the Llama, bleated loudly into the air before turning to look back down the street. A wave of similar bleats echoed through the army. As one, the animals began slowly walking down the street. When one came within range of someone, they simply moved around them and continued down the street. "I say we join them until we find out what is going on," Kizzau said, taking up a position next to Gertrude. Ariane smiled and stepped to the other side of Gertrude. Both waved to Salia, who nodded before parkouring her way up to the top of a streetlight. "I think I'll keep an eye on everything around us for a bit. This Llama march is sure to bring on the curiosity seekers as well as a few opportunity seekers." As they watched, the Warren vaulted up to a roof. Kizzau tapped the side of her helmet to allow her to communicate with the emergency network of Atlas. "Attention, Gertrude. Attention. Gertrude, the Llama totem, has somehow managed to encourage a lot of her friends to march through the city streets. We, Ariane and Kizzau, are marching beside the totem in support. They are not being violent, and their route is along Parkway and heading north." "In all my years as a heroic," Ariane said, "I have witnessed and been a part of some amazing feats. But this is not something I have ever thought would happen. Where do you think Gertrude and her friends are going?" For a few moments, Gertrude turned her head to look at the wood elf. There was an intelligence there that baffled even the gods. All the totems had a similar feel about them. According to the druids and some of the nature gods, the totems had been around with no true origin point. It was a cosmic mystery that had spurned the banning of eating animals for food. Parkway does lead off to a huge region of plains, but it would take some time to walk that distance. Kizzau was hastily looking at the projected route the Llama would take. Shaking her head, she marveled at the distance. Atlas Central was a sprawling metropolis. Walking along Parkway to the northern plains was a decent 20-mile stretch. It would take them all night to reach what Kizzau assumed to be their destination. Just letting you both know that you may run into some people that are going to make you happy cry, Saya said over their comms. Seems to be a lot of support pouring in from the city. It's, as I have always suspected, Gertie has more fans than all the heroics combined. After a few more blocks passed, Kizzau and Ariane both let out gasps as they saw a banner unfurl ahead of them. Welcome, Gertie and friends. On both sides of the streets, people were assembling. Some were gently resting piles of hay, others were assembling troughs and using whatever means they could to deliver water. Kizzau looked over to her wife and saw tears freely streaming down her cheeks. I love this city, Ari said, as she reached up to offer a hand to Gertrude, who nuzzled it affectionately. And with that, I will see you next time for part 2 of issue number 3, Llama Drama. See you all in the near future. Thank you for listening.